A policy dialogue is a structured discussion using the policy brief as a background document. The objectives, include getting stakeholders to bring in their views and perspectives about that topic or that issue. One is they can check the contents of the brief, check the research evidence that we have thoroughly covered everything that can possibly be covered, that the research is applicable to our context. But on the other hand, is also to bring out other factors, maybe cultural factors or social factors or political factors related to these particular problems or interventions and having to implement them in our settings. So these additional stakeholder views and experiences with the problem, with the options, with the implementation considerations are also important inputs to the policy-making process.
Lorsqu'ils viennent, le débat est ouvert, ils prennent connaissance de la note des politiques, des options qui sont proposées, comment ça a été traité.
C'est un forum qui va réunir plusieurs entités et au cours de ce forum-là, eh bien, nous présentons les résultats auxquels nous avions abouti et il y a une discussion qui a lieu entre les décideurs, les chercheurs que nous sommes, ainsi que les partenaires au développement, la société civile.
For our policy dialogue, we use the Chatham House rule, where at the beginning of the policy dialogue, we assured everybody that whatever was going to be discussed within that meeting was going to be confined to the meeting and nobody was allowed to take it outside. So whether they were senior as well as junior policymakers, both of them should feel free to say whatever they want to say, without feeling threatened or without feeling that somebody was going to use what they are saying against them.
Donc ça permet de délier les langues, ça permet de dire, de montrer, de faire en sorte que les participants puissent réellement contribuer à la réflexion.
The dialogue is actually a very, I would say it's a major link between the knowledge that you have managed to translate, moving it on to, policy or practice.
It's an open, more or less an open-ended discussion. It's not for or against. The whole purpose of the dialogue is to share ideas and enrich the policy options. So looking for the right participants and looking for the right moderator, and I think these are the most important steps.
Often people start out the day, hopefully with some clear instructions from the facilitator about what to expect, but over the first kind of half day, things are becoming more confusing because they're realizing the complexity of the problem. They're realizing these are tough choices between different ways forward. They're realizing that there's really big barriers out there to trying to do the right thing.
They all had different perspectives and suggestions on what other options we could use, on how we could redefine the options already presented. And afterwards, we went back to the drawing board and we presented the options. We included their suggestions in the options, and then we sent the draft out to external or global reviewers to take a look at. So it was great to get local perspective and also international perspective.
In the last dialogue we had in Kampala, they all said, fine, we've talked about this, what happens next? And let's get out of here having sort of got the champion who's going to move this, who will keep us informed, who will, move the process. And I think that is such a great link. It's very different when I write a brief and send it out to people and they read and they say, good work, I now understand this better, and sit back. The dialogue actually links them saying good work and where do we go next.
Policy dialogue has a value only if it leads to activities, not just registering a series of politic dialogues.
Parce qu'avant, il y a des gens qui ne savaient même pas qu'il y a de tels problèmes qui existent dans le pays. Et quand on commence à parler, quand on leur dit qu'il y a des expériences dans d'autres pays, il y a eu déjà des études dessus et que ça peut donner plus d'avantages, on commence à voir l'intérêt que le décideur a.
Surprisingly, no politics was involved. All the stakeholders that came for the dialogue were really passionate about this particular topic, so which was a bit frightening because we were expecting politics to weigh in and, you know, but everyone really wanted a solution and that was the focus, and everyone was just really set on finding the best way to protect women from bleeding to death.